We have more now on that guilty verdict in a rape case out in Ohio that's making headlines nationwide. NBC's Ron Allen is in Steubenville. Ron, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. Malik Richmond and Trent Mays begin their day as juvenile sex offenders in detention. Meanwhile, a grand jury next month will begin investigating whether anyone else should be held responsible for the sexual attack of the 16-year-old girl, who finally got some measure of justice here in court. The verdict was guilty, and it hit Trent Mays, 17, and Malik Richmond, 16, very hard.
I would truly like to apologize. I'm sorry to put you guys through this.
But it was too late for the once promising student athletes with dreams of college glory. The judge found them guilty based on eyewitness testimony and hundreds of text messages, many quite graphic, about the attack of the young girl. The victim's mother recorded this message to the boys on audio tape.
I have pity for you both. I hope you fear the Lord, repent for your actions, and pray hard for his forgiveness.
The family attorney told us, despite the apology, the young victim has yet to forgive her attackers.
I'm sure she's working on trying to do that, and knowing the family, they will work towards accepting that apology and giving forgiveness at some time.
Prosecutors revealed at least 16 people have refused to cooperate with their investigation of the alcohol-fueled night of party hopping by dozens of teenagers when the victim was raped. Possible charges, they say, include tampering with evidence or failure to report witnessing a felony.
We need to say enough is enough. Among some people, there seems to be an unbelievable casualness about rape.
In fact, despite pleas for leniency, the judge said he imposed a tough sentence on Richmond and Mays to make it clear to them and everyone else that they had committed a very serious crime. The two boys could be held in detention for several years until they're 21 years old. Meanwhile, the attorney for the victim tells us that while she still has some very tough times, she's been able to resume most of her normal activities, and she's on the academic honor roll at her high school. Matt?
All right, Ron Allen in Steubenville this morning. Ron, thanks very much. Lisa Bloom is today's legal analyst. Lisa, good morning to you.
Good morning.
The victim in this case does not remember really anything that happened the night of the attack. She learned a lot of the details based on photos and information posted online and in social media. Then the prosecutors used that same information to kind of create a timeline. How does this change the dynamic from here forward?
Well, what's remarkable about this case, and in so many cases involving teens today, is that one of the two boys here was texting as the rape was going on, exactly what he was doing, referring to the young girl as dead. So when he tried to assert a defense at trial that she was conscious and aware of what was happening, it was undercut by his own words.
This was not an easy case to prosecute. Consent was a huge issue here, and the victim was inebriated, so unable to give consent.
She didn't remember anything.
What did the prosecution do right in that area?
Well, they went through all of the cell phones of all of these kids. They confiscated them immediately. And they looked at the photos and the videos of what would happen. One photo was of the girl being strung really by her arms and legs by these two boys being carried off. She clearly looked unconscious in the photo, and that was critical in this case.
The defense would have liked to bring up some information about the victim's past, but laws in Ohio and many other states prevent that. Was there more the defense could have done, in your opinion?
I don't think so. I think this was a pretty tough case for the defense because of all of the admissions by these two defendants.
And now the Attorney General in Ohio, Mike DeWine, says, we're going to convene a grand jury. We might bring some other people in front of it. There are reports that up to 16 people either knew about this, texted about it, or witnessed it, or did not cooperate. Do you expect more charges to be filed?
I think it's very possible. And that's what's ignited this case online. You know, it's social media that really lit a fire under prosecutors when some said that they were covering up, that local law enforcement was covering up for these football players. How could so many people have known what happened and failed to help this girl, failed to report? Was there a cover-up? That's the next phase of this investigation.
And the question will be asked, is it your moral responsibility or your legal responsibility?
Well, for adults who supervise children, it's their legal responsibility. For coaches and teachers, if they knew, they had a legal responsibility to report.
Lisa Bloom. Lisa, as always, thank you very much.